Respect does not come from body language hacks. It comes from a skill that most people don't talk about.
So the core concept of persuasion is a subject that is missing from our ecosystem.
We misunderstand persuasion because we don't define it clearly.
Often people assume persuasion is lying and manipulation.
So let's define persuasion. Persuasion is increasing the probability that somebody says yes to your request. To get people to say yes to you, you have to nail down their needs. We are all focused on ourselves, which is why we tend to speak from our point of view. The clip you're about to watch is from a job interview. Notice how much of her focus is on herself.
My name is Andy Sachs. I recently graduated from Northwestern University.
And what are you doing here?
Well, I think I could do a good job as your assistant.
So what should you do instead if you want to persuade people? Sometimes you can just ask people what they want like this.
I want to know what you want.
But perhaps the best way to do this is to use second person speaking. It means using the word you. Because when you use the word you, or you use the other person's name, you grab their attention and they will be more interested in listening to you. And that attention is the prerequisite for persuasion. Here Kunal is talking about the downsides of social media fame. Notice that he doesn't keep it abstract, but he makes his point specific and relevant to Raj by talking about his situation.
Raj, you will remember when you had 50,000 followers and you would get 40 likes, your reaction would be the same as today at millions of followers, right? The threshold has changed.
Watch that again here as he's talking about our inherent need to differentiate from others. Specifically, watch that again when he gives an example, he's focused on Raj.
For example, you are going and getting Vijay Mallya on the podcast is your breaking out of differentiation, right? It's a thing that is needed, because how would people find that, okay, what is the difference that you bring to the table?
You can use this kind of speaking in an interview or a negotiation. Make sure you use company-centered language instead of self-centered language. That will make you more persuasive and it will increase the likelihood that you get the job or pay hike that you want. If you lack clarity when you are using this language, I've made a free bonus video that solves that exact problem, and it also includes a bunch of free cheat sheets for you. I've linked it in the description. Persuasion will become nearly effortless for you if people like you. It's obvious, we listen to people we like. 2 ways you can become more likable. The first one is calling out your common ground. Sharing similarities is the fastest way to build a connection with someone. Notice how Preeti Zinta's eyes light up as she hears that they share the same background.
You come from an army family.
Yes.
So do I.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, great.
The best time to bring up those similarities is during early small talk before an interview or negotiation. The second way you can make yourself more likable is 3-step praise. If you try generic compliments, people can easily see through that and you will not come across as genuine. Instead, remember PES. A great compliment is about something people are proud of, put effort in, and is specific. Watch an example of all the 3 steps in action here.
When I saw Deepika doing the same step, I was like, this is looking so effortless, man.
Ritik was talking about her dance, which is something she's presumably proud of and puts effort in. And he made it specific by talking about a step. That's why it comes across as genuine and likable. Even if people like you, you will not be able to successfully persuade them if you don't build trust with them. For clarity, trust means the transfer of belief, which is that people believe what you say. There are many ways to build trust, but one way is convincing by contrast. We see this most commonly when people use the word but. If you lead with perceived shortcomings, people will automatically believe what you have to say after that, because you are essentially arguing against your own interest. Watch Javed Akhtar do that here.
We may not have the best actors of the world or best cameramen of the world, and best music directors of the world, but we definitely can claim that we have had best lyricists of the world.
He didn't just say that we have the best lyricists of the world. That would be boring and not very persuasive. He built up to it by talking about what we don't have and then contrasted it with what we do have. So if there's an obvious shortcoming in your resume and you get asked about it, address it and then use the word but to talk about a strength you have after that, because people will then trust you more. Persuasion tactics can be incredibly powerful, which is why it's worth knowing how to defend yourself against them. This brings us to the most important part of today's video, weaponizing scarcity. Watch Kunal Shah here talk about how he created exclusivity when he used to sell mehendi.
Okay, my mehendi is going to be so different because I've got it black, right? So I think it's the human need to differentiate is something that I understood from that, and it actually worked well. And I would purposely price it multiple X more than the regular mehendi, so that people feel that, okay, not only is it differentiated, it's expensive, so it must be great.
That last point is important. We all implicitly value what is scarce because we regret missing out. This is why you see limited time only offers, or sometimes salesmen will even lie to you about how scarce something actually is to get you to buy. The way people manipulate scarcity is through urgency. Urgency means getting you to act immediately. It's a function of time. We see this all the time with limited time only discounts or with artificially reduced supply. Companies even use exploding job offers, which is where they want you to say yes in 24 to 48 hours before you have time to think about the offer. Another type of scarcity is seen in dating, where somebody does not text you back or does not reach back out to you. That, unfortunately, can sometimes make you more attracted to them because they're seen as scarce. The way to protect yourself from scarcity is to avoid projecting perfection. We've all thought about a job or an offer of some kind and immediately started imagining how great it would be to get it. Each time you think that way, you are destroying your leverage because you're subconsciously raising the stakes of a specific interview or a deal in your mind. And it is impossible to be confident in an interview when you're worried about the outcome. Harsha Bhogle found this out when he was at IIM Ahmedabad.
And the only job I ever wanted was a particular job in advertising. And I wanted it so badly, man. The same prof who taught us also worked in advertising. I chewed his brains every day. And then I went for the interview. It was the single worst interview anyone can ever do.
The obvious solution to this is to have options. But there is one thing I found helpful even when I did not have options. I call it the 10-10-10 rule. Write down the consequences of a deal or interview not going through and how it would feel in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years. You will likely find that it hurts in 10 minutes, probably hurts a bit in 10 months, but in 10 years, you will completely forget about it. And if it will not matter in 10 years, why let it bother you now? If you found this video useful, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.